Hello everyone and welcome to a new video on my channel. I'm Adam and today we are going through the first book of each Beast Quest series and ranking all these beasts from weakest to strongest. Now this is pretty much entirely my opinion, but this comes down to if these beasts fought each other in Battle of the Beasts, I will most likely say that the beast that's above them will win. And yeah, so this ranking is all 31 beasts that start off each series, and I rank them from what I think is weakest to strongest. If you think one beast should be higher up than another, then please leave in the comments below what I think of that. However, I'm reasonably happy with my list, and with that, let's get into this. In last place, we have Zephyr the Monster Squid. So what makes Zephyr, in my opinion, the weakest beast is that he does have a good advantage in size, what he lacks in abilities is what pulls him down. Yes, he has the constricting ability, being able to breathe underwater and such, but because of his only attacking ability being constricting and his beak, which yes is sharp, don't think we'll be able to do much. He also has quite soft skin as well, which can make it easy to pierce, which would make the other beasts have an advantage against Zephyr and probably make Zephyr be the weakest beast of all the starter books. Moving on. In 30th place, we have Nyxa the Deathbringer. Like with Zephyr, she has soft skin and tentacles to constrict any beasts. The reason why she's above Zephyr, though, is because of her ability to shapeshift, where she can change herself into someone else and have the weapon there. However, because we're only aware of her being able to shapeshift into other humans, that is what pulls her down. But if she can shapeshift into Tom, she can take down Zephyr then. But if she can shapeshift into any other beast, then yeah, I would believe that she would stand a chance. However, for me, 30th place. In 29th place, we have Elko, Lord of the Sea. Similar to Nyxa and Zephyr, he also has access to constricting abilities, but what pulls him up though is that his skin isn't really that soft, but he is still susceptible to being stabbed and such. I put him above Zephyr and Nyxa because I feel that he would stand more of a chance. However, not a lot more chance. These three could be swapped over any time really, and it's only because of Elko being seeming to have more tentacles and more accessibility with moving. I would say that Elko would win, but Zephyr could win due to the size, or Nyxa could win due to shapeshifting. 28th place, we have Skirek the Forest Demon. So I would normally put Skirek up higher, but I reread the book for Series 13's retrospective recently, and needless to say, I was very disappointed with Skirek. So I'm not going to go too much into reviewing this book, but the fight in his book was a bit lackluster, and his weakness is one which can be exploited quite easily, and his ability to trap people inside of sacks I don't think will actually help much against these beasts, who could probably break out of it quite easily. Now put Skirek on the list as one of the weakest beasts of all the Beast Quest, that's a starter book. 27th place, we have Quetzal the Swamp Monster. The reason why I put Quetzal up higher than the other beasts is because I feel he can take the attacks from any of these beasts quite well and dish out one back, which probably won't be more powerful, but is still a strong enough attack that would probably give him the victory here. However, he can't go any further up because the other beasts are more... It's easy. The other beasts have easier accessibility with moving, and I feel have a stronger attack than what Quetzal can actually dish out. Up next, we have Komodo the Lizard King, and what puts Komodo up here is his sharp claws being able to pierce through any of the previous beasts that have been mentioned. He does have agility on his side as well. However, his skin is also quite soft, which would make him easy to be hit as well. I put Komodo here because I feel that he could beat them, but not any other beast afterwards. That's pretty much all I can say about Komodo. Same with the next entry. In 25th place, we have Ursus the Clawed Roar. Same reason as Komodo. He or she, I think it's a he, has long claws which he can use to slice at opponents. Not as fast as Komodo, but I put Ursus above Komodo because Ursus has a rather thick hide, giving him enhanced durability. So I feel like he can take a hit from Komodo, dish one back, and Komodo will be done for then. That is pretty much all of the reason why Ursus is even up this high, but at the moment I feel we're still in the weak category of starter beasts. Well, I'll let you know when I think we moved on to the stronger category. 24th place we have Menix Sabertooth Terror, and what puts Menix up this high is the agility he has, as well as the sharp claws and the sharp fang that he has that's made of red steel. He is not the brightest beast and quick-tempered as well, so that is the weak point, but I think with his size, his agility, his tail, his claws, his tooth, I think he can put up a good fight and probably beat a couple other beasts that's further ahead in this list. However, I put him here because I feel it's probably a bit fairer. Because at the moment, all these beasts I mentioned so far do not have a standout ability which can really make them win. In 23rd place, we have Torgor the Minotaur. So I think this might be a little bit too high for Torgor. However, I put Torgor up here because, as I've said in the retrospective, he's made of 100% pure muscle. His weaknesses are a bit obvious, but I don't know if the beasts below Torgor are actually smart enough to go for the horns. And Torgor is skilled with an axe, so he could defend himself quite well. However, I stopped him here because now we're going into the territory of beasts which are harder to impale. So moving on. 22nd place with Styro the Snapping Brute. And yeah, like I said, in the Torgor section, he's only higher than Torgor because he has a hard shell. And being quite a lot larger and with pincers, I believe Styro can beat Torgor quite easily. He's not any higher because I feel that the other beasts either outmatch Styro due to the speed or abilities, or even just being out of Styro's reach. Just missing out on the top 20 is Solak's Scourge of the Sea, and whilst I would say I probably put Solak a bit too high, the main reason why he's this high is due to his abilities being agility, bone fins, and the sharp fangs. Other than that, he doesn't have anything else that really supports him to go any further up. However, I would say 21st place is not a bad spot for what is one of the more disappointing lightning beasts. 20th place we have Krytor the Bloodbat, and the reason why I put Krytor up this high is because this is the first beast that can actually take up into the air, so the other beasts below are out of Krytor's out of their reach. Krytor also has a long enough tail to where he can apprehend the previous beasts and then take them down with his sharp claws or fangs. So yeah, whilst this may be a bit high for Krytor, I do believe Krytor could beat them one way or another. However, what stops him from going any higher is that the other beasts have an ability of sorts which can take down fellow flying beasts as well as any previous beast beforehand. 19th place we have Zoolock the Winged Spirit. So as I said, this beast does have an ability which can defeat Krytor, and that is the ability of brightness. Zoolock can blind her opponents with her light that comes from her, and then whilst they're disorientated from the light, she can swoop in and take a kill there. And with that, I think that does make Zoolock worthy of being 19th place. The other beasts, like I said, have a gimmick ability which can make them stronger or just more durable. However, I do believe Zoolock would be a good 19th place. In 18th place is probably a bit of a controversial pick, but it's Electro the Stormbird. This beast would have been a lot higher if he can shoot out lightning, but he can't. He can only absorb it. The only reason why I put him above Zoolock, though, is that he would probably get blinded by Zoolock. I feel that because of Electro's lightning flowing through his bones and all that, if Zoolock makes contact with Electro, Zoolock will get electrocuted, in which Electro can come in and finish her off. However, whilst that is a totally possible reason, I do not believe this beast deserves to go any higher up. And it kind of sucks to hear because I really do like Electro. However, because of how Series 24 is laid out, Electro kind of gets a shaft and becomes the weakest and worst beast of this series. 17th place, we have Wrathgore Stampeding Brute. And the reason why Wrathgore is above the previous 3 flying beasts is because he has an ability which can shoot them down with his horns. And if they come down to try and attack, I don't believe their talons will be strong enough to actually pierce Wrathgore's thick hide. So that puts Wrathgore above these 3 quite easily, in my opinion. What stops him from going any higher, though, is that the other beasts have an ability which I feel can pierce through that hide much easier, or can even knock him out. 16th place, we have Osiron the Fleshless Killer. And as I said, Osiron has an ability which can knock out Wrathgore, but also his fangs can dig into Wrathgore's hide as well, which can make him beat him. He doesn't go any higher because any beasts which are further on in the ranking either have an ability which can apprehend him or have a tough enough shell to where the fangs won't be able to dig into them. In 15th place, we have Crab, Master of the Sea. So with Crab, the shell is a good advantage that he has. However, with how thin his legs are, this can make him seem like one of a weaker beast, because with how thin they are, they can snap quite easily. I do believe he can beat Osiron, however, due to his pincers. However, I don't believe he can go any further up because the other beasts can match his agility and have the strength which can just break Crab quite easily. So that's a bit of a shame, but I do believe that is fair. 14th place, we have Conval the Cold-Blooded Brute. And like I said, Conval has an ability which can match Crab. And also with the scales, I feel that he can take a hit from Crab, but dish a more powerful one back. But as I said with Crab and Osiron, I feel he can be apprehended by the next sentry, which will make him lose. But I would say 14th place isn't that bad for what I think is one of the weaker beasts of Series 7, but still a good one. 13th place, we have, of course, the All-Seeing Ape. And yep, like I said, I do believe this beast can apprehend other beasts with the ability to control vines, plus 360 vision. She won't be caught off guard by any beast. However, if a beast is strong enough to get through the vines, which the next few beasts are, then I think a course can be beaten quite easily, because the vines is the only thing that can really help her. Yeah, so 13th place I think is decent. It's over halfway, but she's not going any further. 12th place, we have Greymon the Bison Horror. And what makes Greymon stronger than a quarter is that I do believe that he has the strength which can actually go through the vines quite easily, and also with the ability to bury underground. Whilst a quarter could probably sense the vibrations from the ground, I do believe that Greymon can still catch a quarter off guard and beat her quite easily. What stops him from going any higher up is that the other beasts either have access to flight, or I believe are strong enough to be able to take down Greymon quite easily, or in one case, persistent enough. In 11th place and just missing out on the top 10 is Balisk the Water Snake. And whilst I do think I may have been a little bit biased due to my liking for this beast, I do need to be fair when I say that yes, he can split into a flying mode, which can get, and the other mode can swim, making Grymon's ability to catch him off guard useless whatsoever. And Balisk can just pile up on Greymon, beating him quite easily, along with any other beast here, really. What stops him from going any higher up is that the next beast is so much stronger than Balisk physically wise, and the other beasts have either beaten Balisk before, I think, or will probably beat Balisk with little to no effort due to their abilities supporting strength or defense to beat Balisk. In 10th place, we have Hyrix the Rock Smasher. And whilst I am surprised that Series 30 actually had a beast which made it this high, I do understand why. It is one of the physically strongest beasts, so it's not really a surprise that he's made it this high. However, that's pretty much all he has, physical strength. If he gets beaten by a ranged attack or the other opponent is just out of reach, he would stand no chance. I do feel like he can possibly be one or two other beasts that are further up this list. However, they have an ability which can make it harder for him to wear him down, or they have abilities which can also take him down quite easily. So I think 10th place is a fair place for Hyrix, and quite high actually. In 9th place, we have Wardock the Sky Terror, and I am taking Battle of the Beast into account, which is why Wardock's up this high. However, I couldn't put him any higher because he doesn't really have any ranged attacks which can take down any other beasts. Doesn't have the ranged attacks, but he does have the persistence in which he can take down other beasts. But if he gets shot down from a ranged attack, it's pretty much all over for him, because it's like what Gobber says in How to Train Dragon. Aim for the wings and the tail. A down dragon is a dead dragon. And whilst Wardock's technically not a dragon, he's a wyvern, which is a type of dragon. 8th place is Griff the Feathered Fiend, and I know this entrance has probably riled up Lucas a bit because Griff is above Wardock. But it's like what I said, Griff has a ranged attack with an ice beam that can shoot down Wardock quite easily. And if Griff is able to tackle Wardock whilst he's plummeting to the ground with her feather blades, it'll be all over for Wardock. It doesn't matter how persistent you are, you're not surviving a gash to the throat and then more on top of that. What stops Griff from going any higher up is that the other beasts are a little bit more defensive than her, or have an ability which can counteract her quite easily. That can be due to elements, let's say. 7th place, we have Lupix the Ice Wolf, and quite frankly, I'm really glad this beast made it this high. I know of the potential this beast has in Battle of the Beast, and I do look forward to using her in a Battle of the Beast tournament that I'll be doing next year, whenever next year that'll be. It's New Year's Eve, so I'm allowed to say next year jokes now. However, what stops her from going any higher up is that the other beasts have access to firepower, or is quite strong to where Lupix can be defeated and crushed quite easily. Just missing out on the top 5 is Noctilla the Death Owl, and with the abilities of the tar-tipped wings, she can easily beat Lupix by burning through her. Same with Griff as well, because their speed matches each other. And Wardock, whilst I feel Wardock may be able to stand a chance against Noctilla, I do believe the tar-tipped wings will hinder Wardock and make Noctilla win. What stops her from going any higher up, though, is actually her sharp fangs and claws, because the next beast coming up has sharper fangs, let's say, which I think can tear through Noctilla easier than Noctilla can tear through him. So yeah, unfortunately, Noctilla's stat is this at 6th place due to natural selection. At 5th place is Gorog the Fiery Fiend, and like I said, the fangs can rip through Noctilla quite easily, and I do believe he can beat the other beasts as well just by using his Heat Gaze ability. What stops him from going any further up is that the other beasts either take heat quite well, the heat won't do much to them at all, and also can defeat Gorog quite easily due to their durability limits, really. In 4th place, we have Furno the Fire Dragon, my favourite of all the starter books. And yeah, I do believe this is one of the strongest starter beasts. With Battle of the Beast included, he is the one that made it to 3rd place in the Old Generation Tournament and in the top 10 for the All Generation Tournament. So definitely one of the stronger beasts. Can take the Fiery Gaze from Gorog quite easily, as well as any other attack which the previous beast can do. What stops him from going any higher up is that one beast can absorb his heat, and I do believe can beat him due to sharper claws and stuff, natural weaponry, along with armor. Another beast won't be affected by the fire, but is definitely one of the most durable beasts there are. And another beast I think I've already established can beat Furno quite easily. So, unfortunately, Furno's at 4th place due to the other beasts being miles stronger than him, in my opinion. In 3rd place, we have Calderon the Iron Bear, and as I established, Calderon can absorb heat, which can make him bigger and stronger. And going against Furno, Noctilla, and Gorog, that's what will happen. His armor will make him more defensive to physical attacks as well, and his claws, fangs, and horns are all made of metal as well, which can pierce through the dragon scales, Varkiel fur, or Noctilla feathers. So I think Calderon will stand a good chance. What stops him from going any higher up is that the other beast either doesn't breathe fire, or the one that does breathe fire is made of a stronger material than just dragon scales. 2nd place is Technos the Ocean Crawler. This beast, I think, is established to be one of the larger starter beasts, being a kaiju, pretty much. So having a giant size advantage does help Technos here, and I think he can crush Calderon quite easily, or at least put up a good fight against Calderon to where Calderon will probably lose. It is kind of a shame, because I do prefer Calderon a little bit more, maybe? I'm not sure. But Technos is still a fun beast, and the only reason why he's not the strongest beast is because the other beast, I believe, has an ability which can stop Technos in his tracks. And the strongest starter beast of all the Beast Quest, in my opinion, is Quag the Stone Dragon. And this comes down to his ability of flight, his agility, as well as his natural weaponry of fangs, his tail, his claws, as well as his fiery breath as well, and also his stone gaze ability. His stone gaze ability is overpowered and will probably stop every beast before him in their tracks very quickly. And whilst I do believe there's probably 1 or 2 beasts here which can break out of it, I don't believe they have any abilities which can counteract it and also take down Quag. So whilst Technos does have the strength, and maybe Calderon and Furno do, to break out of the Stone Gaze, I don't think they have any abilities which can beat Quag, making, in my opinion, Quag the strongest starter beast of Beast Quest. And with that, that is my ranking for which starter beast is the ranking of the starter beast from the weakest to the strongest. If you do disagree with my opinion, that is completely fine. There are 31 beasts here. Surely your order's going to be different. But please leave your opinion in the comments below on which starter beast you believe is the strongest. Obviously, the specials were not included because they're not starter beasts; they are specials. And yeah, I'm going to stick with Quag for a while. But I was torn between Technos or Quag, maybe Calderon and Furno as well. The top 4 can go either way, because these 4 I knew were going to be the strongest, due to their abilities and other stuff and achievements. But settled for Quag due to his Stone Gaze ability and only his Stone Gaze ability. So with that, that's all for this time. If you like what you saw, leave a like, leave a comment, don't forget to subscribe, press the notification bell down in the corner below. I got one more video that I'll be uploading by the end of the year, so a bit pressed for time I am. And until then, I'll see you next time.